welcome. It's good to see you all, or at least imagine you, because I'm looking at the camera. I'm sat here next to a wall of Roland Micro Cubes. And today we're going to talk about the best amp ever. Here it is! It's the Roland Micro Cube. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Well, anyway, it is. From a certain perspective, of course, it's not as good as this, but in my opinion, this is the best practice amp ever. It was a complete game changer back when it first was released. It has different models of amps, so it's a modeling amp. It has delay, reverb, chorus, and so on. But basically, it was for me the first amp that I could play at home and I could get a kind of vintagey type gain, like an Yngwie Malmsteen type sound. Now, I'm going to go through some of the other sounds, not all of them, because some of them are really good, some of them are useful, and then there's something that's really crap. Now, before we get into the actual amp, I have it mic'd with a Sennheiser E606, the flat one. Great mic for close miking. I use it live when I don't use the fractal audio, and great little mic. So that's what you're hearing today. And just as a short thing before we start, for the gain sound, I also have a Boss Hyper Fuzz, just to give it the teensy weensy boost to the sound. That's it. Okay, so first up is the JC Clean. That's short for Jazz Chorus. And the Jazz Chorus is an old amp that Roland used to make, and might make a reissue of it now. They had different models, but it was famous for the clean sound that it had, and this kind of is going for that kind of thing. And this is what it sounds like. Now, as you can hear, I have some delay on because I like some delay. The delay on this is basically, it's just one knob that you can turn for more delay, and as you turn it, you get more delay, and you also get a longer delay, which is kind of a bummer, but who cares? More is more, so you turn it on full, and that's good. And then after you reach the halfway point with that 12 o'clock, then it changes to reverb, so you can get this. Or slightly less, or a lot. But I don't really use the reverb because I like delay more. And next up we have the black panel, which sounds like this. Useful for some stuff maybe. And then we have the Marshall type blues breaker type combo. So that's what that sounds like. And then we have my all-time favorite. Well, before we go to my all-time favorite, let's go to the rectifier, because that's absolutely horrible, just so you hear what it sounds like. If you're thinking of getting one of these because of it has a rectifier sound, don't. Here's what it sounds like. But despite the rectifier being terrible, this, the classic stack, that's where it's all at for me. That's why I love this amp, because, well, who doesn't like this? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, absolutely love it. Now, this was around €100 when it came out. You can get these for less now on eBay, second hand. Nowadays it's been replaced by the Micro Cube GX, which is great, but I don't like it as much as the old one. The old one is absolutely brilliant. I'll do a comparison video later on with the new one and the old one. But the new one is still, I mean, I like this so much that I'm calling it the best amp ever. Nothing is the best ever, but for me, this is the best practice amp ever. So when I say the newer version, the GX, isn't as good as the old version, I'm not saying it's bad, because it's really good as well. I just like the old version a lot more. Anyway, that was basically the little amp in a nutshell. It has a tuner, which sounds like this. So you can get... So you can get regular tuning, you get A. Seems I'm not entirely out of tune. Well, I'm not entirely out of tune either. I'm not entirely in tune. So if you have perfect pitch, sorry for that. You can get half step down or a whole step down. And what's great about it is that you have to actually tune your guitar yourself. I didn't check before I started. But that forces you to use your ears, which is good for your ears, by the way. And yeah, that's that amp. If you want, you have chorus. Tremolo. And so on, but I don't really use that stuff. The way I have it set up, you can see here. Gain on full, tone way up, because it doesn't get too bright, like even in that setting. Delay all the way up before it turns into reverb, and that's it. Then I just fiddle with the volume so that the neighbors don't get annoyed with me. It's a great little practice amp, because everything else I've had before has either been crap or I had a Fender Champ, which was okay, but you needed to have it boosted, you needed to have it loud, too loud for it to sound like anything. It didn't have delay, and I like me some delay. Makes me think I'm standing on top of a mountain with my hair blowing out behind me. And, well, that's not going to happen, is it? So, this amp, it's absolutely brilliant. Can't recommend it enough. If you can find it secondhand, to get it. I have 3 of these. That's how much I like it. Well, 2 of the old ones and 1 of the new one. And yeah, that's the amp in a nutshell.